The sightings continue. An increasing number of unidentified flying objects are captured on film each year in every part of the planet. And each year, incredible new forms are discovered. The images which have been gathered show light spheres, metallic spheres, iridescent spheres, alone, in pairs, in small groups, in squadrons of hundreds of objects, or thousands of them clustered together in a single spectacular flying structure. And then there are mysterious snake-like phenomena, invisible flying objects that only appear in infrared vision, and more, all in the extensive archives now available to scholars. Studies of these extraordinary documents could bring us closer to understanding the enigma of UFOs, one of the most fascinating mysteries of our time. The appearance of unidentified aerial biological entities, or Ebanis, is one of the most surprising breakthroughs in the history of unidentified flying objects. The term Ebanis stands for Unidentified Aerial Biological Entity in Spanish, and it was coined by Mexican researcher and journalist Jaime Maussan. One of these entities was captured in a video and photos by Arturo Robles Gila on the morning of the 27th of October 2004. In Gila's opinion, this particular entity constitutes a true breakthrough in UFO apparitions and a new enigmatic puzzle for scholars. Until that fateful morning, very little was known about these structures, in part due to the rarity of available videos, and the fact that the images didn't have enough definition to be interpreted properly. The video, and in particular the extraordinary photos that Arturo Robles Gila managed to take on the 27th of October 2004, clearly show that the Ebanis is a structure formed by thousands of clustered spheres. A sort of aircraft carrier, the function of which seems to be to transport and expel these spheres into our atmosphere. The reason why this should happen is completely unknown. It's a phenomenon that's difficult to catalogue and explain, even for mainstream science.
Scientists have only been able to provide one answer so far. We're looking at an anomalous phenomenon that is classified in neither micro nor macrobiology.
From an observation of the photos taken by Gila, we can clearly see the structure is formed of translucent spheres in 3 different colors: red, white, and blue. Until that moment, only one video had shown a transparent sphere in flight. It too had been recorded in Mexico by Javier Guevara in 2002. At the time, however, the origin of this new kind of sphere was unknown. The sphere's trajectory is linear, and its speed is fairly sustained, indicating that it has its own propulsion system. But the nature of the system that enables such an object to fly remains a mystery. Its transparency and the lack of any visible technological apparatus cannot be compared to any known or imaginable technology. Something we could not have achieved with previous UFO sightings. After the video of the 27th of October 2004, Gila identified and recorded the flight of other similar spheres on film and in photographs. This transparent sphere was photographed at low altitude in 2005. Gila recorded this video while he attended a Mayan ceremony in the area called Cerro de la Estrella, or Star Mountain. This site in the federal district of the City of Mexico is believed to be magic and sacred, and many UFOs have been sighted here.
Y bueno, pues al llegar inmediatamente, mi cuñada ubicó en una posición cenital a un objeto.
As soon as we arrived, my sister-in-law noticed a large, translucent object, and I began to film it. We were all quite surprised that it could happen in that place.
But Gila came upon his most spectacular scoop on the 28th of January 2005. His video shows an entire flotilla composed of these iridescent spheres. The spheres dance elegantly in the sky, quite unlike anything that had been filmed up to that time. In the pictures, we can clearly see the various colors of the shining spheres. The colors are even clearer than in the video. The images clearly show the same kind of spheres that made up the Ebanis photographed on the 27th of October 2004. Thus, according to Gila, this video may confirm that the mysterious aerial biological entities would continue to deposit spheres into the skies over Mexico City. But the phenomenon has further surprises in store for us.
Después de ese encuentro visual con esta enorme entidad de...
After the enormous entity was sighted in 2004, others began to appear, but they weren't the same.
Eran distintas, que no se parecían a la primera.
They didn't look like the first one, although they showed the same type of behavior during the flight.
Entonces conforme fui captando a estas entidades, empecé a darme cuenta que no nada más eran blancos, sino había...
Once I had sighted these entities, I began to realize that they weren't just white, and there wasn't just one type of Ebani, but other types of different colors, with different designs on their surface, and with a different way of moving.
The photos taken by Arturo Robles Gila on the 14th of May 2006 are a clear example of the variety of Ebanis. These Ebani are brightly colored and have a helical tubular structure which is completely different from the cluster of spheres spotted in October 2004.
Se trata de estructuras que están formadas por un sinnúmero de...
These structures are made up of a number of helical tubes, which makes the whole thing even more intriguing.
Más intrigante y comprensible a la vez.
It might make sense, considering the difference between a structure with rectilinear tubes and one with helical tubes. So why helical? Because a helical structure, with the same diameter, obviously, has a larger storage capacity for the spheres inside it. It can contain hundreds of spheres, which they then expel into our atmosphere.
When looking at this new photographic material, many skeptics think that these are only colorful balloons.
Con respecto a los Ebanis de colores, yo entiendo el escepticismo de las gentes.
I can understand the skepticism about the colored Ebani, the people who think that they are structures made of balloons.
Pero afortunadamente, yo no solamente me remito a usar la cámara de video.
Luckily, I'm never satisfied with just using video cameras to film them.
Si lo vemos en términos técnicos,
seen in technical terms, video cameras have a resolution of 640 by 780 pixels. And at best, we'll get a resolution of 520 lines. That's why I also take photographs. Photos go deeper because they allow us to see more detail.
Y la fotografía ha venido a demostrar de manera contundente y sin una forma.
And photos have demonstrated in an unequivocal way that these are not structures made of balloons.
Y los escépticos que han pretendido
Skeptics have tried to discredit this phenomenon, but their claim that these are garlands of balloons is completely unfounded.
No tienen una fotografía de alta resolución.
They don't have a single high-resolution photograph. They don't have photos taken with high-sensitivity apochromatic lenses. Their claims are based solely on the color of these structures.
But Robles Gila isn't the only one to have filmed the Ebani. The phenomenon began to spread, and these entities were sighted and filmed by others too, both in Mexico and in other parts of the world. This black Ebani, filmed in the skies over Los Angeles, is of remarkable interest. On one of its ends, we can clearly see a blinking light. The mystery surrounding their true nature thus gains a new element, which had been unknown up to this time. Once again, Gila amazes us with his material. On the 18th of March 2007, he recorded a new video and experienced an unprecedented event. In his video, we get a real impression that the Ebani is a live creature.
En esa fecha del 18 de marzo, uno de estos Ebanis se dejó venir para acá.
On the 18th of March, an Ebani was moving towards us, flying low.
Le pude hacer una grabación a detalle verdaderamente.
I filmed the object passing over my head. I was able to film it with truly amazing detail.
Esta área tiene dos secciones.
This terrace has two levels, and we're on the lower part.
Se fue para el Ajusco, para la zona sur.
I climbed to the top part because it was going towards the Ajusco area, southwards, and by then I was satisfied with the close-up images I'd got.
Reconozco que fue una experiencia negativa no haber tenido la cámara.
So I went up without my video camera, and I realize now that it was a mistake not to have brought it with me. Once the Ebani arrived, making its usual twisting movements, it suddenly stopped, straightened itself, and flew off at an astonishing speed towards the Santa Fe area, arriving there in just a few seconds.
A partir de ahí me quedó muy claro de que lo que pensábamos que meramente eran gusanos voladores son auténticas naves que pueden.
From that moment, it was clear to me that this wasn't just some kind of flying snake, but a real aircraft, capable of traveling and moving at incredible speeds, much faster than any commercial or military aircraft.
Arturo Robles Gila's story seems to confirm that the Ebanis cannot be a mass formed of mere balloons. The images show an autonomous flight mechanism, an unexplainable propulsion system, as unexplainable as the system that expels its spheres into the atmosphere.
The Ebanis have their own source of energy.
En las grabaciones se nota, sobre todo los que son claros, que brillan demasiado, muchísimo, tienen un brillo espectacular.
In the videos, especially the ones with the sharpest images, we can see that they glow, that they are spectacularly bright. And I'm not talking about the reflection of solar rays of the sunlight. They have their own luminosity. It's the same with the colored ones. There are also translucent Ebanis, which is even more surprising. And they can camouflage themselves at will, become invisible and not perceptible to the human eye.
In the video of the 1st of July 2007 too, we get a remarkable sense of the biological nature of the Ebanis. The entity moves in a continuous fashion, and the video clearly shows its helical structure. The biological entities also seem to appear in groups. In 2005, Jesus Lomeli had already filmed 3 entities together. Later, Gila also recorded videos and took photos showing multiple biological entities. But the most striking material, showing an entire flotilla of Ebanis, was recorded by Miguel Angel Chavez in Mexico City. In the videos recorded on the 22nd and 23rd of September 2007, we can clearly see Ebanis of various colors hovering in the sky and moving in their characteristic way. The entities move in a continuous fashion, and they show a spectacular variety of colors. What should we make of this phenomenon? What might we feel when observing it in person?
La presencia de los Ebanis, sobre todo la incidencia tan grande que hay aquí en la Ciudad de México.
The presence of Ebanis, the density of their numbers, especially here in Mexico City, has increased substantially in the last 10 years.
No se ha visto en ningún momento que haya habido alguna abducción, que haya habido algún ataque.
And yet, we haven't seen a single abduction or attack. Nothing of the sort has happened.
Nos vienen a ayudar.
I believe that these presences come to help us. This is my understanding, my feeling about the Ebanis.
Coquis es un Ebani. Está escupiendo esferas. Está echando esferas, Mina. Mina está echando esferas.
The aerial biological entities seem to be connected to the presence of spheres in the skies over our planet. And their activity also seems to have increased over the course of recent years. Alone, in pairs, or in flotillas of varying number, they're being increasingly captured on film. However, they've only been seen in their metallic form a few times, as in this video recorded by Arturo Robles Gile. At the same time, videos of flotillas formed of metal spheres are rarer than those formed of light spheres. In Flavio Alcantara's video, we see a dark Ebani, and nearby a similarly dark flying sphere. The connection between Ebani and spheres has rarely been revealed so clearly as in the sighting by Arturo Robles Gile of the 27th of October 2004. But there are other images in which the two phenomena appear together. In the first video, we see the Ebani looking like it's closed in on itself, moving independently of the spheres surrounding it. In this case too, this autonomous movement confirms that these are not balls or balloons. In the second film, we can clearly see the Ebani twist and change form, while a remarkable number of white spheres move around it. We can make out spheres which are less visible, which give a better perception of the flotilla's depth in the sky. This elegant and majestic entity has now been flying over our cities with increasing frequency. Just a few meters seem to separate humanity from an extraordinary and unexplainable phenomenon.
El fenómeno de los objetos voladores mal llamado ovnis.
The phenomenon of the flying objects, incorrectly termed UFOs, exists. It's real.
Es tanta las evidencias que tenemos y
I can confirm this based on the amount of evidence we have and the proof I've seen.
No nada más las mías propias, sino la de mis compañeros y la
Not just my evidence, but also the evidence produced by my colleagues and others outside Mexico. We receive material from all over Mexico, and luckily, I get direct access to it. I'm the one who examines and selects the material. The UFO phenomenon in both Mexico and throughout the world is real. It exists.
Demetrio Feria's statements are supported by the incredible number of videos he has recorded up to the present, and by the incredible technological abilities that the flying objects seem to possess.
Hasta ahorita he tenido la oportunidad de grabar cerca de 400 videos.
So far, I've been able to record about 400 videos in the 16 years I've been studying this phenomenon.
El video que yo tengo, el que me ha impresionado más, es de una esfera.
Of the videos I've made, the one that stood out the most is the one of a sphere that I filmed from my house with an infrared lens. It's a little sphere which couldn't be seen with the naked eye, but it was in the sky. These objects are in the air. They live with us.
Esa esfera baja y de cero velocidad.
The sphere comes down and slows down until it almost stops. Then it flies off at an incredible speed. On several occasions, I've been able to film objects flying at a phenomenal speed. I have many such videos. Their speed amazes me.
On the 5th of November 2006, Demetrio Feria used an infrared lens applied to his video camera to film once again a sphere darting around at very high speed.
Cámara estable.
Can the remarkable movements of the sphere filmed by the vigilante be called accidental? Its speed, the angle at which it flies, its ability to make itself invisible and then visible, which is only discernible through the use of infrared lenses, puts these craft beyond our current technical and scientific knowledge. The extraordinary claims thus far presented seem to suggest that the UFO phenomenon could truly be the product of intelligent beings seeking contact. Some people think of the words of an ancient Mayan prophecy that pointed to our time as the period in which humanity was to encounter the Lords from the stars. And according to some, the video of 7 light spheres forming a perfect cross, recorded by Steve Burns on the 14th of August 2005 in the skies above Florida, may be a message to be deciphered.
El video de la cruz que fue
The video of the cross was recorded in St. Petersburg, Florida, on Sunday the 14th of August. We know that Mr. Steve Burns filmed it. We have analyzed the video and verified that it isn't computer-generated, and thus it's a truly exceptional document. The video was made 15 days before the arrival of Hurricane Katrina. It appears to announce the beginning of a final process that could come to an end in the next few years. We're seeing great changes on Earth, such as changes in climate. We're facing seriously dangerous situations. Global warming and continually increasing solar activity are factors that could cause huge changes in the next few years. I think it's a kind of warning, an indication of what might come to pass. That's why I see this as a very important sign, a very important video.
There are those who are anxiously waiting for the year 2012, the moment of change that the Maya had predicted centuries ago. It could represent the beginning of a new era of peace for humanity.
I'd say that the signs are there, and this massive contact between man and extraterrestrials will be the sign of a new era. To be precise, and I also want to say that, in my opinion, this presence is peaceful. There's no invasion. There will be no wars between men and extraterrestrials. Because these civilizations are obviously much more advanced than us, both scientifically and technologically. But this goes hand in hand with ethical and spiritual progress. Therefore, any contact will be peaceful.
Could the extraordinary flying objects shown in these videos be a sign of this coming visit? Will there really be direct contact in the future? These questions are still unanswered. But each day, it seems we come closer to understanding the enigma of UFOs, one of the most fascinating mysteries of our time.